Ketu in Leo, protests against the government. All right, so Mars has just entered into the sign of Leo. The problem is that Ketu is already there. So what happens when you have Mars and Ketu come together? So Ketu is the south node of the moon, and both Rahu and Ketu, what they tend to do is they expand the power of whatever is with them. So Ketu is associated with Mars. So Ketu is said to be like Mars, meaning it has sharp cutting edges, it destroys, the main goal of Ketu is to destroy anything associated with the false matrix of the 3D reality. So when you have Ketu in Leo, that tends to create the scenario where Ketu is trying to destroy corruption, lies, and then when you get Mars coming in there with Ketu, then what ends up happening is that Mars becomes more powerful. So there's a couple of things going on here. One is that Mars is coming out of the sign of Cancer, which is where he is debilitated. So Mars is a fiery planet, is a planet of action, of explosive action, of energy. So what happens when Mars is in Cancer, which is a water sign, then it's like Mars trying to walk through mud. And so it becomes very frustrated. And so Mars walking through mud, and then as it gets to the point where it's going to switch from a water sign to a fire sign, then it starts to get even more angry and frustrated, because it can see that it's about to get out of the water and it wants to accomplish things. It's been held down. All the fire's been put out. So it's moving from a water sign into a fire sign of Leo. So Mars in Leo is very powerful. And so that fire, those two fires build up and explode. Now, normally this isn't going to cause necessarily the kinds of things that we're seeing now. By the way, we're seeing huge protests in the United States and Los Angeles, so much so that the National Guard has been sent out, and pretty intense, exploding cars and things getting, just crazy protests. And at the same time, you have Donald Trump and Elon Musk having this huge fallout. These guys were the best of friends. And it came out of nowhere, seemingly. And we had Elon Musk, who was accusing Trump of really salacious things, like trying to destroy him. And there were some circumstances we find out that, at least according to Trump, that the bill that Elon Musk hated so much, what ended up happening is that he got his funding taken away from him. So he got all of the governmental funding for his cars. That got taken out. So that infuriated him. And he lost his head. So that's Ketu. Ketu on the right there, he doesn't have a head. So when you have Mars come in and bring in all of this energy and this anger, people start just acting without thinking. They just explode. And so you're seeing that in the protests against the government in the United States. And we're seeing war increasing in other parts of the world. So this is what happens when Mars is in Gandanta. So Gandanta is when a planet is moving from a water sign to a fire, or a fire to a water, in that middle point, like as it's approaching the other sign, or just as it enters the new sign. This is called Gandanta, and it's a very a difficult, challenging, explosive time when you're shifting from water to fire like that. So we have this planet of explosive energy, and so you put all these things together. Mars coming into Leo, which is the sign of the elites, the sign of the rulers, the government. When you have Mars moving from a water into a fire sign, it's going to go and wanting to get back into his power again, which is the fire. And then Ketu, which is going to basically take his head off. So that's what's happening. People are losing their heads. So I know for a fact I'm bumping into people who are losing their minds. People who are flipping out. And if you're watching this and you are flipping out, you know who you are.